Hearing number 8179 is being conducted pursuant to Section 26.100.030 of the Revised Code of the City of St. Louis. The purpose of the hearing is to determine whether the conditional use permit to Al Mustafa Supermarket, CO Dana Ahmed, to occupy 4656 Gravois as a convenience store, no cooking and no liquor, subject to certain conditions, should be revoked. The conditional use permit number is 120028. The conditions in questions are as follows. Condition number 4, there shall be no cooking on the interior or exterior of the premise at any given time. Condition number 5, there shall be no sale of items that can double as drug paraphernalia, including food scales, blunt cigar, excluding White Owls, Tan and Black, Swisher Sweets, etc., glass tubes, disposable lighters with pop-off tops, steel scrubbing pads and screens, rolling papers, ephedrine or pseudoephedrine, diet supplements, sleeping aids, bath salts, or other substitutes for illegal drugs. Condition number 6, there shall be no loitering, for which the applicant must post a no loitering sign and enforce it. Condition number 7, the applicant must apply for and receive a permit from the City of St. Louis Building Division before posting signage, and the signage must be approved by the Office of the Zoning Administrator before being installed. The Office of the Zoning Administrator has the burden to prove the conditional use permit conditions have not been complied with. After all evidence of the zoning administrator has been presented, the board will ask for additional testimony, if any, in support of the revocation. Then the conditional use holder will be given an opportunity to present evidence. Lastly, the board will hear other testimony in opposition to the revocation, if any. Your testimony is being recorded. When you come forward, please state your name and your address and be sworn in. As you testify, please direct your comments to the board and not to those in the audience. Members of the audience are asked to remain silent and not coach the witnesses. During your testimony, the members of the board may have questions for you. Following the hearing, the board will proceed with its regular agenda. Following the conclusion of the regular agenda, the board will deliberate, discuss, and vote on the hearing. The board will notify the conditional use holder of its decision by mail in about 2 weeks. The Board of Public Service has in its possession the following documents which are being introduced into evidence. Item 1, a certified copy of the zoning code of the City of St. Louis. Item 2, the conditional use permit number 120028 issued to Al Mustafa Supermarket, CO Dana Ahmed, to occupy 4656 Gravois as a convenience store, no cooking and no liquor, subject to certain conditions. Item 3, a memorandum from the zoning inspector to the zoning administrator stating that upon her investigation performed on May 11, 2015, the zoning inspector found violations of condition numbers 4, 5, 6, and 7 of the conditional use permit. This memo includes photographs of the violations. Item 4, a letter dated May 11, 2015, sent to Al Mustafa Supermarket, CO Dana Ahmed, from the zoning inspector warning of the violations of the conditions that were found upon a recent site inspection and the potential for a revocation hearing should the violations not be corrected within 30 days of the date of the letter. Item 5, a memorandum from the zoning inspector to the zoning administrator stating that upon her reinvestigation performed on June 12, 2015, the zoning inspector still found violations of condition numbers 4, 5, 6, and 7 of the conditional use permit. Item 6, the public notices for today's hearing. And item 7, a certified letter dated August 4th, 2015, sent to the conditional use permit holder from the board secretary providing notice of today's hearing. The board asks that the representative of the Office of the Zoning Administrator please come forward and be sworn in.
Chairman, may I ask a question on the record? I might have misheard, but when you were reading condition number 5, there should be no sale of items that can double as drug paraphernalia, and there was a long list as was set forth in the original condition. Some examples were listed. Those were not exclusions. Were they the examples of blunt cigars were also examples of things that could not be sold there? Is that correct?
Right.
Okay, thank you.
They're the conditions, that's correct.
Thank you.
Would you raise your right hand? Will you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. My name is Myra Turner. I'm zoning inspector for the city of St. Louis, 1200 Market Street.
Can you please tell us about the possible violations of this conditional use permit?
Yes, sir. As you've stated, I've previously gone out, did investigation, re-investigations, and as of today, number 4 has been corrected. He has had the stove removed, and he's just storing stuff back there. There is no stove for cooking. Number 5 is still in violation. If you look at the pictures, there's still plenty of Schweizers and all kinds of cigars, whatever. He has removed the sleep aids and the bath salts, but he still has the cigars. On one picture, you'll see a big wooden pipe that's sitting on the counter, so that's still a violation. He did post no loitering signs on the front of the building and the door or whatever, but he did hand make those signs, and I do not have at this time a permit for any of the signage.
Okay. So condition number 4 has been corrected.
Yes, sir.
But there are still issues with 5, 6, and 7.
Well, 6, like I said, he hand wrote some signs. He posted them for the no loitering.
Okay. So technically, we have problems with 5 and 7.
Correct.
Okay. And you just re-inspected this today, and that's your finding, and you've had multiple conversations with this individual?
Yes, sir, I have.
So you're very positive they understand what the conditions are?
Yes, sir, I'm pretty positive they are, because he has actually had someone else in the store to interpret what I'm saying to him. So I feel that I've done my job in explaining what needs to be done, because he's actually had somebody else in there to tell him exactly what I'm saying.
Questions from the board?
The item 5, the condition 5 relating to things that can be used as drug paraphernalia. Can you describe to the board on the various visits what you've seen? I know you've said that some of them have been corrected, but in past visits, did you see bath salts? Did you see sleeping aids? What were the things that you had seen during past inspections? Okay,
during past inspections, there were glass rose pipes, there were disposable lighters with the pop-off tops, there were rolling papers. He had I don't want to say it was cold medicine, but he had medicines that contained the ephedrine and the pseudoephedrine. He had sleep aids. He had the bath salts. Those were on the previous visits from the beginning.
And did they persist on multiple visits that you made and just were partly corrected this last time?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. That's all.
Any other questions from the board? Thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience present who wishes to testify that the noted conditions have not been complied with? If so, please come forward and be sworn in.
Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Would you state your name for the board, please?
Alderwoman Carol Howard, Alderwoman of the 14th Ward. Excuse me. I would like to say that this operation has been a detriment to the neighborhood because of the drug paraphernalia, the loitering. I went by there this morning on my way down here about 11 o'clock, and there's people hanging. You can't hardly walk past the place without dealing with some sort of conversation, usually not favorable, especially as a female, with some of the people that are hanging around out there. The these were conditions that were given to Dina Ahmed. I don't know that she is here today. And I guess that's part of the other problem is who is the person operating this and who is the person on the conditional use? Do we have continuity there of the person operating and the person this use has been issued to? The drug paraphernalia is a problem because they're right below a multifamily building that the owner probably, it's run more like a hotel motel than it is a multifamily dwelling. So it's just a hotbed of bad times for the neighborhood. So I would move that this operation be not allowed to continue to operate.
So have you personally ever had any conversations with the
I have
conditional
not.
use holder? Okay.
I have not, but I know what the neighbors are reporting and what, I've witnessed in going by, because I'm not sure who the owners are.
Okay.
Okay?
Questions from the board? Thank you, Alderwoman.
Okay.
Is there anyone else who wishes to testify that the noted conditions have not been complied with? Please step forward and be sworn in.
Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Would you state your name for the board, please?
Mary Hackett. I'm a neighbor in Bevo neighborhood. Live around the corner. I've never shopped at El Mustafa Market, but what I have to say is more impressions and neighbors talking. The concern is the loitering, the appearance of the place is, until recently, was just the windows were stuffed with ugly signs in a haphazard way, and there's people hanging around outside. There's as Alderman Howard said, there's a multifamily building right there, and people come out of there and they hang out on that stoop and at the El Mustafa outside of there, while I've never been in there, like I say, I never shopped there, we leave it to inspectors, Ms. Turner, for example, to take care of these issues. So I don't have any hard evidence except the feeling is that it's not conducive to the appearance you want to condone in the neighborhood. It just looks real tacky. So,
Questions from the board?
thank you.
Thank you. At this time, the board asks the conditional use permit holder to please come forward and be sworn in.
For the record, we have two people here. One is gonna testify, and the other one, he says he's here to interpret. So I'm gonna swear both of them in. Okay. Raise your right hand, both of you.
بس راسي بس كروسون اخوك
احكي بالعربي.
يعني احكي على اساس انت اي شيء تقول له هو صحيح.
Raise your hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the
انت
truth, so
قسم
help you
داني
God?
اي
يس.
State your name for the board.
yeah. I am the father for my daughter Dina Ahmed. I work on the store from the morning till night.
Okay, your name.
My name Rafil Hussein.
Okay, and the interpreter, his name is,
جوي
your full name, sir.
جوي توفيق.
Okay, now you can address the board.
Yes, sir.
So I would like to ask if one of you gentlemen at a time would please respond to the noted conditional use violations. You have a permit to operate your store, you understand that, correct? Okay, you came to this board and you applied for a permit, and with that conditional use permit, there were a set of rules or conditions, if you will, that we've asked you to comply with. And do you understand that the zoning inspector has brought to us a list of violations? Do you understand that?
قول له يس.
Yes, sir. What should-
يقول انت تعرف هو انسبكتور جايبه علينا.
Yes, sir. He coming.
And so in particular, what we're talking about is there was a cooking issue, but it sounds like you've rectified that. There's an issue with the sale of items that could be doubled as a drug paraphernalia. You still have an issue with that. You have posted a no loitering sign, but there's no permit for that. And then you have other signage that there is no permit for that. So can you respond to those?
يقول بعض الشيء عندك ما عندك إجازة.
Sir, we already don't cook because we don't have license. And this is the picture. We don't cook, never. This is the cook outside. We cut them from the electric. This is the pairs. We don't sell the alcohol. We are Muslim. We don't sell alcohol. This is the second. Then, what the third? We don't know what mean no loitering. No loitering, we make sign, loitering. This sign. We take picture, I give it to you. We sign my. Second, this neighbor, I never see him. Never. I have signed for couple, maybe 15, 16 people who want to stay because we take care of the people. We good with the people. The drug, the building by the drug. The problem, the door for the building beside my store. The building, the neighbor from the building, because how
This, the building he bought, the drug, everything, he got everything not good. He's beside his store.
This is the picture.
We cannot decide it, we cannot tell him anything about why.
The
he
police
collect-
say him, they don't loitering on my store. Beside the store there is door for the building.
This is not our responsibility. Because there's a door beside, this is a door, this is the store. Same.
Right.
One state. They said over there, we cannot tell him anything. Sometimes if you tell him anything, they hate us. He said, not me.
They say this is the building, we live upstairs. This is the door for my building.
Okay, so why don't we do this? I think it'd be easiest if we just take these one condition at a time. Let's handle one at a time. And so the first item, has the zoning inspector ever come out and spoken to you about selling items that you're not supposed to sell? Has she ever done that?
يقول هاي يشرح لي هاي إذا إجا سبيكتر يحكي وياك يقول هاي ممنوع اللي يجمع الشلتة. ولا ما أفتهم.
I don't understand what he said. This guy, no cooking. We don't cook. No cooking for what? We don't cook already. I don't have anything. I buy the store as is, no license. So I can't cook.
كل بعض الأشياء باقي هنا.
Yeah, right. And so what again, I'll try to explain this. There are certain items that you cannot sell. Do you understand that?
Yes, بعض الأشياء.
Sir, excuse me. When I buy the store, I don't know this used for
It's
drug
meaning
or
when He
something.
bought the store as is.
I don't know this for what.
He not choosing this.
I come in here.
One at a time, please.
I come to here, I make license. The inspector come to my store. Don't tell me this is allowed or not allowed. I don't know what this. And this, the inspector coming from 2 months ago. I cleaning everything. This is the picture show.
Okay. The next item, you have a sign posted that says no loitering. That means no people hanging around.
Like this, sir.
That's true, but the alderperson and the other person came up and they testified that there are always people hanging around.
Correct. Right.
How is that? Why is that?
This the reason for this اشرحها قول له دوما المحل مالتكم ازدحامه.
Yeah.
قول له اقدر اسوي هاي واخلي ما احد يجي.
Yeah, we do this for on the front.
We can't fix this. He said.
Right, but just because you put the sign up, you as the business owner have to enforce that nobody are violating the loitering. So you have to either ask them to leave or contact the police or whatever the case may be, but you're responsible to make sure that it's being enforced. Do you understand that?
يقول انت مسؤول على ازدحام قول له انا اسوي قل
I do this. I do this. Okay, sir. I do this. I put sign. I put another sign for the door. But the neighbor the neighbor, I tell you, sir.
This building is full for the people they smoking.
Black people, I
No,
prayed
no,
from
no,
him,
sir.
I prayed from
Not
him,
good.
maybe make problem to me. I tell him this not allowed loitering here.
But they not
They
listen.
don't care to me.
Sometimes they come instead they put the chair behind the store. If you talk to him, he hate you. We are not for the state. We scared. Sometimes you not answer him. We take care of this quiet better than everything.
So let me get to the last one, and this one is specifically on you. Nobody else has anything to do with this, that one of the conditions specifically says any signage that you put up at your business needs to be applied for to the building division. The zoning inspector testified that none of the signage has a permit. Now, let me just ask that question. Why would you not have a permit to hang the signs up?
Because no one will tell me. No one will tell me.
You have a conditional permit that you applied for with a condition that specifically states that. You have that. That's why you have a conditional use.
Explains one point for him, for the God. I speaking for the God. He not understand everything. What is allowed, what is not allowed. He bought the store as is. And the second, sometimes he no understand. He ashamed. He say, "I'm no understand." Sometimes no understand for the specter. Sometimes no understand for everything. He not talking. Say, "I'm no understand." He moving everything. Sometimes all the sign around the store, I remove it by myself. Right now, I don't have any sign. If they told me, if you got any sign, you have to take a permit. I will do this like this. أنت إذا تريد تخلي أي sign لازم تأخذ permit من الcity.
No one tell me, put sign, go to the city. No one tell me. If I want to tell me, I go to the city. What the problem? It's easy.
Do any members of the board have any questions? Everybody have all their questions answered?
قل له أنا مستعد أسوي كل شيء.
And I already do
He
everything.
tried to fix all his problem as the city.
But I
made.
swear I didn't cook because I don't have license. And I don't buy alcohol because I'm Muslim. I cannot buy alcohol. And this is the second, the tooth, correct. And the sign, I put sign because no one tell me put sign outside. No loitering. But I do. And this is a picture show I bought. And I do this new. The inspector tell me this paper is not good, make it like this. I do. And the neighbor, I never see this neighbor. I have camera, you can see no one coming to my store. And I have a lot of people, I come in here, they love me because I take care for him. I love him, he love me. And don't have any mistake. Check the report for me, check everything.
You know, the
Old man, I don't make.
The only question, I guess, that I really, the part I don't understand is that on May 11th, we're in September, on May 11th, there was a letter sent out that basically explained that there was some possible violations. 3-4 months went by, and it would be very easy to ask someone to help get guidance on these things. So my question is when you received these letters, when the zoning inspector came in and talked to you guys, did you do anything to correct these violations? You corrected the first one, but it sounds to me like you don't understand exactly what the violations are, or you don't feel like you're committing a violation.
No, sir, I take everything correctly. I pay tax every month, every year to the government. I pay the rent every month. I pay the electric. I pay the insurance. I pay everything on that time. But I don't understand because my people, they speak English little. They understand they understand little.
All the people working around at the store, they understand under 50, they understand. Sometimes his wife, he got a cancer.
My
She
wife,
speak
she's
English. She
deaf.
speak English very good. Sometimes I tell him, take this paper to your wife to read for it carefully. We take him, sometimes she forgets the paper at the hospital. Because a week, 3 days she's in hospital. She got a cancer, very dangerous. Sometimes he lose his temper for the problem for his house. Maybe he correct, exactly, you not understanding.
And
English.
my daughter is not here, it's my country. I take her
Oh,
for
Basmaka.
Can I ask this? Have you ever applied with the billing division for a permit for any signage that you have on your business?
No, sir.
Why?
Because we don't know. This correct answer, we don't know. But right now, I know.
All right. Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Thank you. Thank you. If there's anyone else present who opposes this revocation, please step forward and testify at this time. Seeing none, the matter concerning hearing number 8179 is now closed and submitted. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie is excused. Director Rundy? Here. Director Hayes is excused. Director Roth?
Here.
Director Moore is excused. Director Gray?
Here.
And President Bradley.
Here, we have a quorum. I'll call this meeting to order.
From the President, Addendum number 1 to the plans and specifications for letting number 8589, Bell Reeve, Sister Marie Charles, SMC Trail Connection, R 2013-8242. Recommendation that Missouri Highway and Transportation Commission, STP, Urban Program Agreement between the City of St. Louis and Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission for Columbia and Southwest Bridge reconstruction be approved. Recommendation that Missouri Highway and Transportation Commission, STP Urban Program Agreement between the City of St. Louis and Missouri Highway and Transportation Commission for resurfacing of Germania Street be approved. Recommendation that the board declares as emergency action work for roof repair and modification at Hickory Park and Russell Park. Recommendation that the board declares as emergency action work for reconstruction of T1 Vehicle Service Road, Lambert St. Louis International Airport. From the President, Director of Public Utilities and Streets, joint recommendation that permit for Lafayette Square streetscape for improvements to include debris removal, excavation, curb replacement, topsoil and mulch replacement, decorative fence, asphalt pavement, milling and overlay at McKay, recommends approval. And McKay Metropolitan St. Louis Sewer District requests easement and temporary construction license over property at 9150 Riverview Drive, owned by the City of St. Louis for a period of 5 years, recommends approval. From the President, Director of Public Utilities and Streets, joint recommendation that permit for MSB Construction Services, Inc. for public improvements on Finney, CD Banks, Margaret Bush Wilson, West Bell, Turner Park to include curb, handicap ramp, sidewalk, landscaping, new East Park, parking lot, fencing yard, and dog park. Recommends approval subject to certain conditions. From the Director of Public Utilities, recommendation that the board declares as emergency action repair transmission and steering on a Massey Ferguson X50 four-wheel drive utility tractor, equipment number 484415 for the Howard Bend WTP. From the Director of Public Utilities and Streets, joint recommendation that the following permits be approved subject to certain conditions as follows. Great Rivers Greenway to encroach with Captain's Return statue on the sidewalk along Lenore K. Sullivan Boulevard just east of North Overlook Stairs. Cullen Euclid LLC to replace sidewalk and sidewalk vault in basement on Euclid and Delmore sides of 625 North Euclid and install 5 feet wide concrete walk in the alley to tenant entrance. Walk to be flush with existing asphalt alley. Union Electric, doing business as Ameren, Missouri, to set pole on the south side of alley at 5807 Cabanne, west of Goodfellow. Union Electric, doing business as Ameren, Missouri, to install pole, down guy, and anchors on the south side of 4322 Pampin, east of Tower Grove. Charter Communications stored at the existing charter manhole at 4th and Lucas in front of One Federal Reserve Bank Plaza. Charter would like to open, cut, and enter the Mansion House parking garage at 330 North 4th Street below grade. Charter Communications to place a new power supply on the north side of Olive Street at the intersection of 8th Street and Olive Street in front of 777 Olive Street. Charter Communications stored at the power pole at 4301 Shoto. Place a vault in the utility easement and bore north to the southwest corner of South Boyle and Pampin. Charter would like to set a second vault at the corner of the intersection, then bore east, etc. AT&T bore a cable from the existing manhole on Ewing Avenue in front of 2837 Clark going north on the east side of Ewing for a distance of 260 feet, then bore west under Ewing 75 feet to customer conduit at 2930 Market. AT&T stored at AT&T manhole located at 5820 Maple, bore 15 feet to utility right-of-way extending behind 1001 Goodfellow Boulevard. AT&T Missouri access the existing AT&T manhole at the intersection of Ohio and Accomack from the manhole board to place one new 400 PR copper cable down Ohio to pole lead in alley on Ohio between Accomack and Armand Place. From the Director of Public Utilities and Public Safety, joint recommendation that permit for 4450 North Broadway to consolidate land at 4424, 4426, and 4428 North Broadway in City Block 2493 be approved. From the Director of Public Safety, recommendation that 5 festival zones be approved subject to certain conditions as follows. Lou Fest, September 12th through 13th, 2015 at Forest Park Central Field. Shakespeare in the Street, September 17th through the 19th, 2015 at Old North St. Louis Mile, 14th between St. Louis and Warren. Forest Park Forever campaign launch, October 2nd, 2015 at the Grand Basin, private donor party for Forest Park Forever. Grove Fest, October 3rd, 2015 at Manchester between Sarah and Taylor. Tricks with No Treat, October 31st, 2015 at Robert Avenue between Michigan and Virginia. Now we have the conditional uses.
Microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Good afternoon, Mr. President and members. I'm Michael Vicentainer, zoning plan examiner for the city, and I'll be representing the building commissioner at today's meeting. Per board order number 766, transmitted herewith are recommendations for the following conditional use agenda applications. Approval with conditions is recommended for 4 applications at 1361 Arlington, 1222 South 9th Street, 6226 Magnolia, and 3740 through 44 Lindell.
Are there any questions from the board on the conditional uses? Seeing none, take a motion, please.
Move to accept the recommendations on conditional use permits.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the recommendations. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Stobie is not present. Director Rundy.
Aye.
Director Hayes is not present. Director Ross.
Aye.
Director Moore is not present.
Director Gray,
Aye.
and President Bradley.
Aye, approved. I'd like to open the floor for discussion on hearing number 8179. No discussion? Seeing no discussion, I'll ask for a motion, please.
I move to revoke the conditional use permit 120028.
Second.
You have a motion to revoke and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, can you read the roll, please?
Director Scobie is excused. Director Rundy.
Aye.
Director Hayes is excused. Director Ross.
Aye.
Director Moore is excused. Director Gray,
Aye.
and President Bradley.
Aye, revoked. Ask to turn your attention to our meeting minutes from previous Tuesday, September the 1st. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes as presented? Seeing none, I'll take a motion, please.
Move to accept the minutes.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie is excused. Director Rundy.
Aye.
Director Hayes is excused. Director Ross.
Aye.
Director Moore is excused. Director Gray,
Aye.
and President Bradley.
Aye, the minutes are approved. Today's agenda, are there any questions on the agenda? Seeing none, are there any additions or corrections to the agenda? Seeing none, take a motion, please.
Move to accept the agenda, including addendum number 1.
Second. Moved and seconded to accept today's agenda. Can you read the roll, please?
Director Scobie is excused. Director Rundy.
Aye.
Director Hayes is excused. Director Ross.
Aye.
Director Moore is excused. Director Gray,
Aye.
and President Bradley.
Aye, the agenda is approved. Motion for adjournment, please.
Move to adjourn.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned.